Welcome back to the channel. We're back working on the manure spreader because it's 7 degrees outside. So what better place to be than in the shop where it's warm. Last video, we tackled removing the rest of the boards, and I still need to tackle the back, the rear end. We have 2 boards on the side, on this side here, and then we can work on getting all the studs cut off of the center supports. And we pulled the apron chain off last time as well. We probably could have left that on, honestly, and slid boards in between. It would have been fine, but I think it's just gonna make things a little bit easier. So we have a lot of cleanup to do. Basically what I wanna focus on today is getting these 2 boards removed, try and get this whole rear assembly figured out and off, and get the rest of the boards removed, and then start cutting some studs and getting everything cleaned up. We're gonna have a lot of work with just cleanup and I'll say preparation, because I've had to cut off all the studs on this, on every support, every rail. So we have all these bolts here, and these ones are fine, we can just cut them off. But basically, like right here and here, here's a good example where we cut all them off. So those are gonna need punched out, and we may be able to just punch them out, or we may end up having to completely drill them out, which is gonna suck. But whatever we gotta do there, we'll be fine. It is what it is. That's kind of what happens when you're dealing with something this old and aged and everything else. So I'll get working on, I'll probably start removing these boards here, and we may just try and cut that back here as far as we can. And then I gotta try and figure something out with the rear there. Almost, there you go. Nice, high five. Sideboards are out completely. We got a little section on here and a little section over there. I may be able to do this without removing that whole rear beater section, but I have to kind of get in and see how everything is together and do it that way. I think it's just plates mounted fast to the wood, but everything is mounted to the metal, minus a couple tensioners here and there. It's time to get reckless. The wood is completely off of this side, finally. This definitely could use a little reinforcing here because it's not in the greatest shape, and the plate's not in the best shape either, but we can make do with that. This gets sandwiched on the wood, and that's how that works. So I just need to get the other side out over there, and then I think we'll be okay to just leave this stuff in. You can see this bracket here is completely rotted off, so I may have to reinforce some of that because it's going to be thin. But we will get that wood out and see what I need to do here to try and get this a little bit better. I'm thinking I may still notch it, because with notching it, you can actually keep it pretty small for a notch and still manage to fasten it on the wood. So I think that might be our best bet. There is no more wood left on this spreader, and I didn't have to take off anything in the rear. Now, it would make it easier to take it off, but I honestly think it's gonna be better to just let well enough alone and not do that if I don't have to. So that side is definitely a little bit better shape than this side. This side has a big hole in it. Still a little bit weaker on that side too, but nothing compared to this side. So again, I may have to reinforce that. But now I'm gonna just go along and try drilling or tapping, punching out these bolt head rivets, whatever they are, and we'll cut all these off, and then we'll just have to, from that point, we're ready to start cleaning this mess up. I started to cut off a couple of these, and then I actually just came and followed through with a hammer, left the stud stick up, and we pounded them all out pretty quick. I mean, it's pretty simple. So all the floor supports, those studs or whatever you want to call them, are all completely out. And I even managed to get some of the rails, get them out as well. So this is actually going pretty well. So I got this whole thing completely out, that whole thing, this whole support minus maybe two, that whole center support, and then some of the ones back through here actually have multiple things connected to them. So we'll deal with that kind of at a later time. There are some other bolts that just need cut off, like this stuff here, so we can take that off, deal with that. But we're getting really close to being able to just start cleaning up and get this thing ready for some paint. I got a lot of the bolts out, especially of this side. Got the upper ones cut out. I do need to cut out some of these yet, and some of those in that rail, and probably some in the back. I have quite a few over there. Some of the stuff I'm not going to remove till later, like this piece right here, just so I don't kind of lose where it goes. And yeah, we're getting really close. I took the apron chain out from underneath because I do have intentions of completely cleaning all this up once I'm done scraping, cleaning, brushing, you name it. Once we're done making dirt, then I'll try and broom all this up. That way it's kind of not in my way and everything's clean, and then we can kind of prepare to get some primer laid down and then some paint. What I'm working on now is it's a front support up there I think it's actually an arm that connects to the wood. I don't know if it connects, I don't think it connects to one of the arms, but I have it in the vise. I gotta try and get these studs pounded out. I had got two pounded out so far. This one by far is kind of the worst. They're stuck in here really bad. Come on, punch. A lot of the bolts are cut out, and some of these, that one I'm gonna let in for a little bit. Got some more to cut off here, a bunch there. My saw blade was actually starting to pretty much melted. So I got some more blades. So hopefully I can tackle the rest of getting that done. I started cleaning up a little bit of the front. So we're getting really close to being able to slap some primer on this, which is ultimately the goal. Once we get primer on it and we can get it painted, we're gonna be able to put the boards in here and put everything back together. And I think that is gonna be the quick part. And then I can get it out of here and get the next thing in here that I wanna get in. It did occur to me the other day that, and it was already after I clearly had this in here and had it all ripped apart, but I feel like I remember saying I wanted to get the 460 in here to address the hydraulic leak under the, not really under the seat, it's actually up front now where those pinholes are, because I wanted to remove that and just completely plate it, if that's possible. I'm pretty sure it is, but I had made the comment of wanting to get that in here before the manure spreader and completely forgot all about it. So here we are. In all honesty, I really wish this board could talk. Just to know where all this thing's been, what all jobs it's done. Obviously, it can really only do one job, I guess. I shouldn't say that, but where it's been and different farms, land, how many acres, I don't know. It'd just be interesting to hear the history of something like this. And in fact, from all my equipment that I have, it'd be really neat to know the history on all of it. It's old. Don't tell anybody. But this blade, it's like melted. It was wood with nails, not metal. All the bolts that I needed to get out are out, other than a couple here and there. Now, that is a big plus because I wasn't so sure about some of them. And actually I do have a couple in this here plate that I have to get yet. And then I can start to clean this whole thing up. I'm starting to really make some progress with this thing. We're at the cleanup stage pretty much at this point. Couple bolts here and there, some that I have to drill out, some that I'm waiting to take out because they're actually only connected to the metal and I don't want to. It's bad enough that I have a couple pieces already that were connected to the wood that are out, so I don't really want to take any more out if I don't have to. So some of them bolts are going to wait until the end, but for the most part, everything is out, everything's ready to go, and we're pretty much ready for paint. Well, getting close to be ready for paint. I have to clean everything up, so we're gonna probably just wire brush everything and get all the loose stuff off, the rust, the moss, all kinds of stuff that just needs cleaned up. So I started on that up front here a little bit, but then the battery died, so we'll start up front here. We'll just work our way back. There's a lot of area to do, so it's gonna take some time to do that. But next video, we are going to get this thing pretty much to where we're ready to put some primer on it. So that's gonna end up being clean up, get everything brushed, and I do have to get bolts and everything yet for the wood, so I have to figure all that out. But we're gonna get everything cleaned up, brushed, blown off, sucked off, all the dirt off, whatever, you name it, and then we can lay down some primer. And I'm excited to see this thing come back to life, because right now, it doesn't look like a piece of junk, but you can tell it's dated, it's old, rusted, discolored, stuff like that. So yeah, next video, we'll jump on that, and hopefully we'll be able to lay down some primer and be one step closer to having this thing throwing some poopy back in the air. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.